this torte here we're going to do with fruit, and you can have any kind of fruit you like. I'm using strawberries, raspberry, kiwi, and blueberries today. But again, you can use whatever you like. And I have that inside. I have 2 layers of filling, 3 layers of cake, and I have just crumb coated it white. And I'm going to show you how I frost. There's a couple of different ways you can frost. You can use a bag like this. I typically use this bag if I'm in a hurry or my cake's really crumbly or I don't have time to crumb coat. This really helps, makes it go on really thick. If you're, the best thing for frosting is practice. Practice, practice, practice. Tortes are a great way to practice. Also, keep in mind, I want to show you that this cake is slightly askew, it's a little bit off. This is a perfect cake and a perfect example of a cake being forgiving, and you'll see that later. We'll just compensate that with the fruit on top and the rosettes. So let's get started frosting. So I'm going to show you how I do this. It'll be a little tricky here, but I use the flat edge out and the teeth towards the cake. And I just kind of squeeze and turn. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I just take a straight, let me move this over, spatula. I prefer this particular width. There's all different sorts, small or bigger, offset for little cakes. I don't really like to use an offset one. I like to use this one. And I'm going to take some, put them on the top, and spread it a little bit around. And then for the sides, I take my, now you can use this, or you can use the rubber spatula, and or this, but I'm going to use this in a second. So I like to kind of make sure it's all sticking to the cake first. I like my tortes to have lines in it, so I'm going to use there's 3 different sizes, the medium one, and just, this is a small cake, you can just do 1 turn, so there's not a bunch of swiping motions. After you do that, I like to use this. You can use this as well, but this is perfect, especially for bigger cakes. Take this and just kind of pull towards the center. I'm pulling away from the edge to get a more crisp edge. Now, because I know this is going to have a bunch of stuff on top, I see a little, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a little bit of cake showing there. Don't worry about it. Okay, before I actually put this on the board, I'm going to put my nuts on it. And I chose almonds. I like using almonds with this particular cake. And use my whipped cream cakes. I just put a few almonds in a tin. You can, if you have a lot of cakes to do or you have a big cake, you could use a cookie sheet with the edges. And all you do is just take a handful and just press it on the side of the cake. This is really great if you have problem with frosting and there's stuff showing. This will hide that. And I'm just doing it around the edges. Of course, you could go all the way up the sides. It's totally up to you. And then after you do that, then put it on your cake board. No need for a border for that. Now we're going to decorate the top.